ball is now. It's 4th and late at the 8.
Is this thing on? Welcome in, welcome in. Let me begin. You call in the show and we'll talk some talk. All right, what's up, guys? It is Jimmy J's hair.
Landry's legend.
We are the star we are, and it is 4th and late at the 8. What a name, what a show. We still have AM Mayhem. Don't worry. Saturday and Sunday, maybe Thursday and Friday, we'll be with you. We'll talk in the mornings. We're early birds like you guys. However, we understand you're at work. You got things to do during the day, but in the evening, when it's time to unwind and all you've got left to think about for the day, you've taken care of all your life business, and all that's left is Dallas Cowboys business. This is the show to call in and let it out. 4th and late at the 8. Coach, how you doing this evening?
Excellent. We got a little bit of a brand new Cowboys news to start off with, right? I don't know what time that was this afternoon that we acquired another cornerback.
Name being, is it Kendrick? I'd have to double check. I'm not super familiar with this player.
Yeah, that's why we're going to take
It
a look
did
on
just happen
PFF.
earlier
hmm
today.
hmm But yeah, I summoned down the depth chart for the Seahawks. Not a player that I'm familiar with right off the top. But we're going to take a look here in
Yeah.
just a minute. I'm going to try to get some chat rolling.
Darion. I was thinking DeAndre. Darion Kendrick.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah. Darion Kendrick. Got him he played for Seattle and LA last year for the Rams and the Seahawks. And looks like Coach is going to bring up a little PFF grade on him. What is up, Chuck? What is up, Beatnik? You guys in the chat, thanks for watching. If you're here with us, go ahead and tap the like,
Don't need
tap the
all that.
subscribe, turn on the notifications. Let's get into it. Darion Kendrick, the newest news out of Cowboys Nation is going to be this young man right here. PFF, limited snaps from what I understand,
Right.
134, it looks like. 72.8 grade, though, is good. 2 interceptions on only 134 snaps is pretty solid. 3 pass deflections to go along with it, and played for 2 teams that were both in the playoffs last year and really good and had depth at this position. And so for us to pick him up, I think it adds to a room that for me was already one of the deeper okay rooms. We're really thin at linebacker. I think we need edge. We could use another safety. Uh, but DB room in general, especially the corner room, was kind of full. But it looks like the Cowboys are trying to stay away from having to spend 12 on a Jermod McCoy or Mansour Delaney, however you say it.
Mhm.
We've still got to figure that one out. But
He's
it
got-
looks
I'm
like
gonna-
we may be trying to
Look,
avoid that.
I'm going to have to hear him say it because,
I know.
Etienne was every sports announcer. No one corrected for years. I'm still on the Travis A chain. For those who don't know,
Almost like Devon A chain, right? Except
exactly
it's
like.
a chain, or is it a chain?
Oh no, he said it's A chain. I mean, he said it
A-chain,
just as
okay.
clean, like as if you
But
spelled
Travis
it
Etienne is
is
actually a chan. It's like French or
a
something.
chain, a chain. Yeah,
I remember you telling me that about a week ago. That's
something
so
like that.
interesting.
Anyways,
Speaking of
not enough
interesting,
snaps though. Not enough snaps is the tough part, right?
right?
134 snaps, seven receptions allowed,
Yeah.
16% pass rate. I mean, it's all really low, but it's on, maybe some
No, the
dozen
metrics are good. It's
targets.
just not a big sample size. Yeah. No, numbers are good. Not a big
What's the
sample
size?
size.
What's the
But for
size? 6 foot
he's right there,
190.
6'9", 190. Decent. I mean, just the size of a cornerback. 774-290-2200. Remember, guys, if you call in tonight, if you choose to call in, give us your age, give us your name, claim your state, and state your claim. Right. So what does that mean? It means tell us your age, tell us your name, what state you're from, and then give us the business. All right, but keep it cordial. Fan responsibly, as we like to say. But no, do give us a call in. PIN is 269-2697, or Cowboys for those of you who can spell. And for those of you who can't, you're at the right show, because sometimes we get things wrong too, especially this football team. One thing we haven't gotten wrong, though, is this coaching staff. And while we're on this, Coach, I want to talk a little bit about, we were talking about these pro days coming up soon. And I said it's going to be real interesting to watch which Cowboys personnel shows up to which camps.
Mhm.
And all over today, we've got Brian Schottenheimer is last night getting into Austin early to have dinner with Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas, linebacker. The biggest position of need for us. Coach goes and visits him one-on-one, sits down, have dinner with him. And then today, Coach, Will McClay, and our new DC, Christian Parker, are all in, they were there at the pro day watching the Longhorns. And so that's interesting. who, and also the Canes too. All three of those guys also showed up to. I seen Mike Tagg was really excited about that. So, are we going to have some Longhorns and some Canes on the team this year? Is it Reuben Bain Jr. at 12 if he falls, and is it Anthony Hill Jr. at 20 or a trade down or something?
The Ruben
What does
Bain
this
thing
mean?
is unpredictable, right? With the whole arm thing and the meme pictures, like somewhere there's got to be some
Don't
coaching staff that's off of it because of that, right? And then there's got to be a dozen who could care less, and a handful of
mhm.
those who are looking straight past it and think he's a superstar. So it's really difficult with him.
You may
But
have nailed the ratio there.
back to the pro days though, you said not just Brian Schottenheimer but Christian Parker, and they're both and Will McClay. I mean, and they're all
And
going,
Will
and they
McClay.
haven't showed up at one yet.
Right. At least from my understanding, we only
Hmm.
get the reports we get. And so, yeah, that's and interesting. And I remember Jay Tuck saying, we talked about this the other day, Anthony Hill Jr. being what he believes is the purest middle linebacker in this class, like playing the position of middle linebacker. You've got obviously Sonny Styles, the athlete. You've got CJ Allen with the good brain. But as far as just the combination of all of it, Anthony Hill might be the purest at the position. Is he too rich at 20 though? If we say Anthony Hill Jr. at 20, because PFF's got him now, you can get him at like 70.
Mm.
So if we pick him at 20, are you screaming? Are you
It's a second round linebacker, right? It's not with Sonny Styles, CJ Allen, and that's basically where the list ends on the first round linebackers. Usually it's just a couple of the specific. I think he's a second round grade, but at
but are
20,
you risk
I
trading
just
down to
yes,
the second
I
round
just
trying to get him?
I saw what Travis Frederick was, so I know that we do things right
Okay.
in that case, right? Travis Frederick probably is
That's
someone's
fair.
late second round pick. I can't remember if we necessarily even had one that year or what the situation was, but we took it at 27, and it doesn't matter. Again, bar syndrome, out the window, he would have been a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that was tough.
So
Oh, yeah. Oh, well on his way. Yeah, no, everybody was calling him a future Hall of Famer. He was
mhm.
he was just as good as Zach Martin. That was kind of why we had the line we did. Him, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, they all three were that it's kind of the
So
same quality.
again,
They were Hall of Famers.
reaching is okay for your player, and you can speak more to what you think it meant. That Brian Schottenheimer is having dinner with him when it's not a recruitment trip.
Right. You're not trying to convince this kid of anything. I think that with the with the culture we've tried to build and what Schottenheimer's tried to do from I want it from the ground up. I want the janitors and everybody in the building to be on the same page. He implemented that when he come in. I think this trip to have dinner with this kid personally is to find out who's Anthony Hill Jr. I can talk to all the coaches. I can watch all the film. I've got Will McClay. I don't. I'm not having dinner with you to see if you can read a gap. I'm having dinner with you to see if you can read a book. You know what I mean? And I don't, and that's obviously I'm just they're breaking it down to the basics, but to just find out who the kid is, what's his intelligence level, what's his demeanor, what's his conversation level, how does he pick up things? You shoot a couple questions at him, and I can guarantee you, Schottenheimer's one of these guys. You shoot a couple questions at him, you ask sort of the same question again an hour into the conversation to see if the answer changed. Right? You can test for consistency. Brian Schottenheimer went down there to have a one-on-one with this kid, not to convince him of anything, to convince Brian Schottenheimer that he's worth pick 20 or somewhere close to it,
Mhm, mhm.
you know. So it's interesting to see. We'll see who else he has dinner with
So
in
and
this
and
process.
continuing down that line, we'll stay on the Cowboys line for a few more minutes here. The addition of another corner opening up, or kind of just really starting to target in. We don't have to take corner. Doesn't mean we have to take linebacker, but it's the absolute only thing that hasn't been addressed in free agency in any way, shape, or form. Right? In,
For me, I'm okay with this. Listen, if Anthony Hill Jr. is your guy that fixes the linebacker room, whether you bring in a veteran or not, at 12, I think we've given ourselves the ability to that. Okay, if we don't like what we see out of Anthony Hill Jr., we'll probably just spend 12 on CJ Allen and be happy with a green dot guy for the 3-4 we want to run. Because that's what we do know. If we end up taking CJ Allen, that should work. Is he the guy that Anthony Hill Jr. is and the playmaker he is? Probably not. The athleticism isn't quite the same. So I think we put ourselves in the position to BPA at 12, best player available for the new kids, and then
and it's
you
just going to
decide if
happen
you
to be
want
a
to spend
linebacker.
20 at 12.
Oh, maybe
Maybe. Well, I
I
think
can do I,
BPA could
I can do
be
CJ Allen at 12 at this point. If I can do Anthony Hill at 20, I can obviously do CJ Allen at 12. That's not so.
Okay, so which one of those sound better to you?
Oh, Ant Hill. Oh, Ant Hill at
Right,
20.
and Hill at 20,
Well,
which some would say is
I
kind of a
mean,
reach.
if I have to choose, but Ant Hill at 27 is what is what sounds the best, and a third round pick.
Who was
But
that, Philly?
what was that?
27, is that Philly? I don't
Oh,
know.
I
I'm
don't
just
know. It
I'm
just
just
sounded like a good
making up.
number.
Yeah. Yeah, it's no, I get it that, he's the second round talent. The only thing is let's say you go with the Patriots, or so just somebody down there in the last 28 to 32,
Hmm.
and you get the deal done and you pick up a mid to late second rounder for that swap, and he gets drafted at 33. Then you're gonna be like, then what? Is Deontay Lawson or Kyle Lewis later down the line going to be replaceable? You've picked up an extra body. You've traded down. You did grab yourself an extra body, but you've also missed Anthony Hill Jr. Is that swap worth it?
Yeah. Oh no, missing out on a guy that you've gone that hard on. If it's like you say that you're going to be at the pro, all the things that have gone to this point. If you end up, because then you end up still needing to take a linebacker who maybe potentially you've done a lot less work on. There's dozens of
That makes
guys
sense.
and hundreds of hours of work going in, but if you feel like you had it pegged and then you just have to take a different name, it's a huge question mark, right? It could be
Right.
that he goes on to be a perennial Pro Bowler, and the other one's just some fourth round linebacker because you missed out on your guy.
You know what's interesting too, man, is the fact that the reports come out now that we know what we offered for Max Crosby, right? The
Oh yeah,
first
yeah, yeah.
offer,
Let's hear
what was
that.
it? A first in Odigizua was the first official offer. Then a first and a third. I'm assuming it was next year's third, or we had already told them, "Hey, look, we're going to trade Diggy for a third. We'll give you that one when we do it." Yada yada. I don't know. I can speculate on that. And then the final offer was a first and a second. Um, every time in that, well, except for the first, right? It was 20 and Osa. The next two offers were both pick 12. So the fact that we shot two offers, including pick 12, to Vegas, that tells me that we don't see anybody at 12 that we're not willing to move off of. Even if I understand, yeah, you're getting a caliber player of Max Crosby, and so you feel like, okay, that's worth it. But I'm just saying, we didn't see a player like, look, we know this guy will be there at 12, and we don't want nothing else but him at 12. There's nobody on our board that says that, or we wouldn't have offered it twice for Max.
On the
So
spot, can you come up with a draft day trade for a defensive end that wasn't speculated during the free agency period, but all of a sudden, as 12 is approaching, we're on the phone still trying to move 12 forward defensive end because we think that's the biggest need we have, and we don't see the player falling to 12. And try to give you a few seconds there to come up with a team and a player that isn't Max Crosby, but is um Rashawn Gary plus.
you can come up to 12 and give us 31 for the best pass rusher you got in New England, but I don't think they do that. They already lost one to free agency, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? I don't. I'm trying to. I don't know. I don't know. Anybody in the top 25 has basically signed their guy, the Jalen Phillips. Yeah, I can't see it. No, no. Now here's one for you though. When you talk about 12 maybe being a little rich for CJ Allen, 20 people feel is pretty rich for Anthony Hill Jr.
Mm-hmm.
If 12 isn't as vital as we thought, like I said, considering they offered it twice for Max, could you take 12 and then move down? You're going to pick up a second. You know what I mean? And then even if you only move down to 18 to 28, you've picked up a probably good second or a very high third to take that move down. And you can go ahead and spend 20 on Anthony Hill because you're going to add an extra body. So now you're comfortable with like, okay, we reached for our guy, but we're going to add two guys in return for reaching for one. And so for me, that feels like it evens out. I'm, you know me, coach. I've always been on the proponent of move 12, make turn 12 into more top 100 players in this draft. We got a lot of youthful college coaches, and I think they know a lot of these prospects.
And I think it's just your
So
MO. Three years now in a row. You'll spend time mock drafting, looking at the value of our picks, and then I want to trade away. I'd
trading
I'd
down.
rather
I
trade
do.
down. If I had the choice, I'd trade down. Yeah, that
Yeah.
happens.
However, what's up, Cowboys fan? Welcome in. However, this is the first year that multiple times I've actually traded up with Tennessee. I gave them 12 and Tony for 4 and 66 to go grab Sonny Styles. So this is the first year that I've actually looked at like, okay, there is a guy that I will trade up for if I don't have to lose. I can downgrade pick 20 to get this dude.
Hmm.
I haven't been able to say that in other drafts. So we got 7 people in the chat. So 774-290-2200. That's 774-290-2200. Go ahead and call the show. Hit pin Cowboys to what is it? 269-2697,
That's it.
I believe is the digits. And let us know what you think about the upcoming draft. Obviously, it is all the talk. Speaking of all the talk, sometimes people are all acting, no talking, just acting. And I seen some acting yesterday, Coach. And I'm gonna try to be fair here. I don't know how many people out there watching the March Madness, and I don't know how many people caught any of the female games. I happened to catch Iowa versus Virginia. Okay, uh, NCAA women's basketball tournament going on right now, March Madness. And I don't know the players' names. I'm not really familiar with the teams or the players. I believe Caitlin Clark was out of Iowa, so I do know that about that team, but that's about it. Virginia versus Iowa, and it was one of the now. Granted, an arm comes up, a neck does get kind of hit here a little bit, like a little. She was just kind of clearing space, like back up, kind of catches her, and this girl hits the ground like she just got kicked right in the center of the throat, and
Walks to
lays
the
there
bench
and whines
crying.
and whines. Walks to the bench crying, and they have to look. We looked at it and raised it to a flagrant one, and gave her 2 shots in the possession. And I was like, "Come on!" There was a little contact. I'll even say it was a foul. It was not a flagrant foul, and she did not get
Right.
karate chopped in the throat.
And it was up to the neck towards the neck area where when you first told me about it, I didn't see it live. You were saying this is going to be real bad. We'll have to take a look at this, and it ends up being towards the neck area and totally a foul, but in no way intentional, which is what
Yeah, no
signifies a
intentional.
flagrant. So
Unless they're just doing something with like, even though it wasn't intentional, any of those things above the head or neck area, if they're trying to do something like that, then I can see that. If they're trying to go soccer, like, hey, we understand you just kind of caught him with the elbow, but it's above the head or neck, so it's going to be a yellow. If then I'm okay with that because I understand protecting players, but it was more
yeah, but
like I said, a little.
yeah, and they don't have those rules, right? It's not football where it's
I
it's
don't
it's
think
it's
so.
above the head and neck area. It's targeting. It's an ejection, intentional or not. That's what
No,
the whole flagrant deal is to evaluate, and then the
right.
long evaluation.
The long evaluation
And
came from,
they're
I
like,
believe, the
yeah,
flopping.
right.
You know what I mean? Because if the girl just goes, "Ah, she got me," and like jolts back or even falls because she got like kind of pushed, that's understandable. If she just gets up, yeah, it's a foul. You're fixing to get the ball. It was a foul. But the fact that you laid there and grabbed your throat like you couldn't breathe and then cried for 2 minutes, I believe, is why they raised it to a flagrant. But that's just my opinions. Call in and argue with me if you want to. Fourth and late at the 8. We're gonna run this thing. Listen to the ground. I A and Mayhem on Saturday is going to be interesting because I believe there will be some sort of news. I'm not sure Cowboys news. I'm not sure which team, but I do feel before this weekend coming up because as of this Saturday, it'll be 22 days, 23 days to the draft.
Oh yeah,
To be
in the area.
exactly, just at
We're
three
30 or
just at
something.
3 weeks, I believe. And I was looking at a bunch of different moves earlier today, going through some draft history stuff, and right around the 3 week mark, outside of the draft, and maybe they'll drop the news early next week. Right around the 3 week mark, teams start getting jitters and do
Maneuvering again
something.
a
So I
little
don't know.
bit. There's a
Yes,
initial free agency explosion in 48 hours, and then there's this second week where nothing, this and that happens,
right.
and then a dead week or two until the jitters. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I think a big one's coming. I don't know if it's going to be somebody getting moved. Maybe a couple quarterback decisions that might surprise you somewhere, because teams are going to really start dialing in. Okay, we're fixing a draft, and then it's all football and all game planning. We got to have the personnel we're ready to game plan with it. So it's things are going to
Well,
start shifting around. It'll be some good stuff.
the big one didn't happen. I think it was maybe last Friday when you were saying someone on Twitter broke some news. 48 hours from then, by Saturday, a major trade of some sort. I don't recall
Well,
that
just
happening, right?
a major addition or a major something, and I believe it was just the Kyler Murray to the Vikings,
Oh, well,
and
there you go. That's
basically
something I wasn't considering.
I think that's what it was, yeah, because that was the biggest news that come out that weekend. So if that's tweet had any legitimacy to it, then it would have been that story. That was about the biggest story, and that is substantial because JJ McCarthy, poor kid, gets brought in, gets sat down behind Sam Darnold. Right? Like we don't want to play your rookie year. They tried to do the whole, we're gonna do it right. We're not gonna just throw our rookie into the fire. We're gonna let him develop behind a little veteran guy, a 1 year stopgap Sam Darnold guy. And look at our offense going crazy. 13 of 4, 14 wins, whatever Minnesota did with Sam Darnold. Now JJ's ready. Now he's gonna see it and get it. Little did they know they gave up the guy who was fixing to get him a Super Bowl this year. That Vikings defense and
He
that
might have
same
taken them
Vikings
to
offense
the
with
Super
Sam
Bowl
Darnold.
this. He might have taken them to the Super Bowl this year the same way he did Seattle, right? He had a stellar year the year before. Had a resurgence, not really a resurgence as a first round draft pick, a
Just a finally
culmination, an
coming through.
ascendance. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was
Just
odd
and
decision.
don't call it, and a lot of people would say, "Oh, well, a coordinator finally got to him." No, because he had a different one in Minnesota and went right over to Seattle and won the Super Bowl. So it wasn't the coordinator, it wasn't the system, it wasn't the scheme. He changed 3 of those in 2 years. It was, where was he at? Washington? Or no, where was Darnold at before? Um, the Vikings?
He was somewhere in between the Jets or not? I don't think so. He was just
Was it the
with the
Jets?
team that
Okay, so
drafted him. Yeah,
right, Jets, then Vikings, then Seahawks. Back to back to back years. So don't call it scheme, don't call it coaching. Guy was just getting better at football and playing good quarterback. That's all it was. And think about Minnesota. They'd be sitting on Sam Darnold. They'd be sitting on a young JJ McCarthy to trade off last offseason if they would have just made that decision. We want to rock with Sam.
before showing him
We just
anymore,
spent a first on JJ. Yeah, we just
and
spent
the
a first
cooler
on JJ,
happened.
and he
Yeah,
wrote Pine all year. Give him away for second, and add to this Sam Darnold thing. And well, I bet they, hindsight 2020, they're probably kicking themselves. I want to be kicking ourselves. I want to get to the
here it
NFC
is.
Conference Championship game.
It's always as we get rolling here. I just pull up a mock drafted
It's my favorite video game.
On improv. Yeah, the best video game on the internet. Here it is. You're the Dallas Cowboys. I wish there was a way to like filter out and remove these other teams. It's hard for me sometimes to find the Cowboys.
How
I
many
don't play
rounds we
as
going?
I don't play as the other characters. There's only one character
Can
in
we
the
beat
video game
Philly
that I
and trade
play
all?
as.
I was going to say, can we rig it and give us all of Philly's picks?
Oh, you force trades all you want, but try to give some
We'll,
actual content value for the viewers.
we'll talk about trade
And
before we get into it. I want to move
uh-oh,
12.
all the time. Offer trades.
I don't
You
want 12.
you let
I
me
need to
know.
talk to Houston. I want to talk to Houston.
Houston Texans at pick 28. So there's around the 27 period. But of course, you're looking at 12
Boom.
and
So
not
that's a
20 right
lot.
now.
That's moving up 16 to the 12. And then they have what, 38?
Yep.
I'll take 28 and 58 or 38, whichever one you think they'll give me.
59, that is 30, well, that's a big difference.
It is, but I mean, which one is probably
This is pick number 12. 16 in the first round. I think you can get that second round pick, even though it's high. I wish it was.
just be
I mean,
realistic. Give me
for the,
59. I'll
for,
be real fair to him.
I guess. Okay.
No, you got to hit off. You got to hit. You
But
got to hit
are you
off.
done with them?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just know that I'm getting Ant Hill at 28 now, and I don't have to think that I reached for him, and I've
Yeah.
got an extra body in the draft.
All right.
Inside the top 60.
I'm gonna start the draft. We're gonna let you get there before you pick at 12. PFF. More gripe against them. I'll use a pleasant word.
Okay.
When I go to offer a trade, I click on offer trade before the draft starts. I'm obviously serious. When I then spend 2 minutes arranging a trade, of course I want to initiate it. Like I did. Don't. Here's the thing. Make
Are
me
you
click.
sure you're
Yes.
sure?
No. Make me click offer trade. That's fine. Don't let me leave the screen without telling me, hey, you did a bunch of
Right.
work here and didn't do shit. So was that on purpose, dummy?
I mean,
Anyways,
y'all gonna have to forgive Landry. Listen, he don't play this stuff. He's
pick at
not
12.
fix your web design,
Or
fix your interface. All right,
that's
he's
right.
not dealing with it. All
Oh
right,
no, you're sorry.
no,
Pick
Avion
pick at
Terrell.
20. Pick at 20 you will do.
Well, I guess you know what. Since they dropped Jamon
They
McCoy,
left him all the way at 20
that's
for
what I
you.
would. That's probably
Would
what I would obviously do. I
would you
really like
no, hold
Avion
on,
Terrell
hold
anyway.
on. Would you? Because that is interesting. Would you obviously. We were having all this debate about 12. A month ago I was Jermon McCoy as one of the initial like gut instincts, top player, top this that for what the tape looks great. I know understand he was hurt, but I take that flyer at 12. Um, I'm off of Jermon McCoy at 12, and I'm not pressed to take him at 20 just because he's there anymore. But anyways, you can.
Okay. No, I want Avion Terrell
Okay.
because I don't think McCoy will be there realistically.
Okay.
And now I just want my guy, Anthony Hill Jr. at 28. I reached for him a little bit, but I got picked 60 in doing so. Being willing to reach for this player, I've now added another player in the top 60.
They're gonna see me scrolling for him. Oh, it's page two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's the kind of the thing, though, right? That's existed. The Cowboys have done that, right? Picked a page. That's what Travis Frederick was. We just discussed that, like a page two guy in the first round.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I think Luke Schoonmaker was that for tight end. I think he was closer to a bottom third guy, and
hey,
we snagged him up in the.
once you take the number away, though, and we get to the end of your draft, and that player is on your team,
Mhm.
that's what we're talking about. That's what matters. Here you are at 59. This is your extra pick in an area where you haven't seen too many of these players, because you don't often have a pick
N-
here in drafts.
No, I'll scroll just a little bit. I like
Yeah.
Stukes, but we just spent on Avion, so I'm not too thrilled about it. Love Joshua Josephs, and I probably like him better than the. I've actually really liked Joshua Joseph once.
Mm-hmm.
Show me the win rate on Derek Moore and Joshua Joseph. I need to see the pass rush win percentage.
Yeah, B gap. Where's it at? Is it
20,
first?
20 is that
There it is. Win rate 19.8.
19? Hey, okay, what does Joseph's have?
19.8 on Derek Moore and 21.3
So
on
only
Josh
a half a
Joseph.
percent difference. I've liked Joseph's better the whole time. I'll take him.
Okay. 59 Josh Joseph. 92. I'll just take a little scroll. Um, you can start to filter by positions anytime you need to see.
Is Markel Bell there?
Right
Yep.
there.
Yep. I know he plays better than Terrence Steele right now. So I don't mind that. I like football players. You know who I want?
Let me take a look at this. You like football players? I know who you want. This will leave in. Okay.
Coach knows me so good.
Well,
All right.
anyone the A&M stuff is kind of specific to us. So anybody who sees it would pop out to you if you had watched. I mean, Ford did make every
Yeah.
play. He's not wrong.
Show me yeah, he flew off the film for me though, and we watched all the A&M games.
As we say it, they're
Uh
trying to push two more on us.
right around where we at 152.
Yeah.
Um no, I like the halfback thing, but I really want to look at more edge here. I really
Okay.
do.
We'll go
I
back.
want to see if we can possibly make a steal here that outplays Rashawn Gary. Hayden Curry is nah, we've
I
already
feel like you
missed
need
out on the
the
few
Dallas
names I would
Cowboys
be
scout in
looking
the room
for.
to let you know which name it
Mhm.
is right now, because this is where it gets to that, right? This is where it gets to. Um, we used
Is
him
Red
wrong.
Murdoch? Uh, I'm gonna need another linebacker here.
We're gonna need another linebacker. Off the edge. Give you a linebacker sort.
Okay. Uh,
And there's your red Murdoch you were looking.
yeah, but he's a little further down.
Yeah.
I'll take Aiden.
Okay. That's a bit.
It's a little bit of
That's
a
a
reach,
safe
but hey,
bet. It's a
I want
safe
my
bet.
guys. Hmm. Um, double down on tackle because I can't have enough of them, and I love Notre Dame
You're
offensive
right.
linemen.
I that's like that.
Give me Eric Rivers in case we can't get George signed. I might even
Oh,
double
you
dip at
gotta
that
do
position right
you
here
gotta
just
take
in case
Ted Hurst
for
and Markel
insurance.
Bell's place earlier if you're not gonna get
No, I
George
know, but
Pickens on.
yeah, I
That would
don't.
be
Well, that's if I
way
know
that'd be
George is
way more
gone. Yeah.
important than Markel Bell outplaying Terrence Hill.
Well, not necessarily, because like I said, we've seen CD and them boys have almost an MVP Dak Prescott. So I'm not, that, and especially if our offensive line was better than it was 2 years ago, we don't have to have a George. You
I
know where
don't
I'm at.
again
I'll
though, I
take
don't
Jack Kelly.
I'm not positive that Ryan Flournoy is even 32-year-old Brandon Cooks yet. But
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you.
Brandon Cooks was 32 and didn't have 1,000 yards, but was coming off like 8 of them in a row. That's all he ever did. There you go.
Now PFF is going to give you an F
Who
again
cares?
for taking Anthony Hill
You
right there,
can't
but
get
that doesn't matter.
you can't get a grade. You can't get a grade that's high unless you take players that are drafted higher than where they have them ranked on the board. And
The way
PFF
they have
is
it ranked.
not
That's how they
God
do it. Yeah.
at ranking players in
How dare you?
right. And more Moneyball references, right? I've been on it for 2 days. He answers to only ownership than God.
Check your notes, guys, or I'm going to point at Pete again. Listen,
Beautiful, beautiful. What did we do there? All you did was trade back just 16 spots from 12 to 28 and get us one more second round pick. And boy, it's an impactful now. I like these defensive additions. It looks like a
I'm
lot of
with you.
dogs, a lot of dogs. Aiden Fisher, Will Lee, Anthony Hill.
I believe Avion is better than AJ. And AJ Terrell was pretty good. AJ Terrell was a number one corner. And if we can draft a guy who all this, I believe,
Oh,
and I'm not
he
saying
is
it
the
can't be
number one
Jamar
corner.
McCoy
No, he's a
and Mansour Delane,
yeah right
but
now.
Avion Terrell at 20, he has potential to be just as good as McCoy or Delane. And at 20, if you get him there and he is, it's boy, this team you've increased. Think about the depth there. We could start dropping corners, and any corner we just name any of the three corners we just named out of the draft. If we add one of them in the first or second round, Savon Rebel, Deron Bland, Kobe Durant, Darion Kendrick, who we just added, right? Josh Butler, Kalen Carson, Reddy
Brady
Stewart.
Stewart and the addition. And yeah, or
uh,
unless that was number
That's
number one on your list
maybe
there, but
8 or 9 guys.
someone's got to
That means
go.
two or
Even
three
now, people
corners
have to go instead of
go. I mean, you're gonna hit a practice squad and hit another team is what's gonna happen this year. And when you got DBs doing that, that means you wealthy at it. And when you're wealthy at DB in this league, you can go a long way. So loving it. So this is quietly one of the best free agencies. Now I know the first day we splashed. Oh, Jalen Thompson. Oh, we added a Rashawn Garrett. And it wasn't like names, but we talked about that outside of Kenneth Walker and freaking somebody else. Who were the
there
names in
weren't
this
yeah
free
there weren't
agency?
names. And like you said, Jalen Thompson is a bigger player than his name at this point in his career. I think so.
Yeah. Yo, no, you're 100% right.
He played in
A
Arizona,
lot of
man.
people
All it
couldn't tell
takes
you
is
who Jalen
yeah.
Thompson.
All it takes
That's
is
right.
show up in Dallas with a little more around and a little more opportunity, and all of a sudden, the same year plus anything else gets you a pro. All of a sudden, you're a first time Pro Bowler this year. That's
Yeah.
highly possible, and
No,
we
and I'm
need it.
and I'm thrilled for him because Christian Parker has a very, very likely chance of turning him into a DB that gets looked at like that this year with how he's going to use him.
Mhm.
And I've already known about the kid, and I'm happy for not only us for grabbing him, but for him because he deserves the recognition and the Pro Bowl and a little clout because he's quietly been one of the top 7 safeties in this league. And like I said, you could say Jalen Thompson from the Cardinals, and they'd go, who is he, like a running back? No, people don't know him. You know, they're about to.
News.
Football people knew him.
What else you got tonight?
774 290 2200. Are you a football people? Are you a football person? Call us. Let's talk some ball. 774 290 2200. Hit the pin 269 2697. Let's chat about it. Coach and I are hanging out with you. It's actually really, really nice weather for a Tuesday evening. It was like 76 high today. It's only going to be like 50 something low in the evening. Really, really nice.
Yeah, we're
Got
living
some
in that
good
time
spring
period in
weather.
Texas where catch us tomorrow night, and we'll tell you it's either freezing or boiling, one of the two. I think we've already
Yeah,
had our
3 days ago it
first.
was just 100.
Yeah, in 34 days, 4 days before that, and the day it was 100, there was a 40-degree swing. That's how we live.
It was. It was. The week before the 100, it got down to 30 again, and then I said, "All right, now I'll get to 100." It's almost like the desert, but yeah, we got the best thing out of the desert. That's Jalen Thompson. We we got the best thing going right now, and that's you guys watching along. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, turn on your notifications. We appreciate you guys hanging out, dropping some comments. Tell us what you think about the show and how you're feeling about fourth and late at the 8 o'clock, where we just get to unwind. Drink your drinks, do the things that you do in the evening, relax, unwind, talk some ball with coach and coach, and just get it off your chest and just, you don't have to talk ball. You want to talk March Madness. You want to talk the most recent movie. This is just a late night talk show. Obviously, it's Dallas Cowboys centric. We will talk. We do this. So bring it on. Um, Coach, if I told you that we made it to the NFC Conference Championship, right? Like we did it. Like we finally got over the. It's been 30 something years since they even got to that game. So we got to the NFC Conference Championship against, God forbid, Green Bay. Mike is back healthy and da da da. And they played good, and we're back in, and we get destroyed, just like the last time we played Green Bay in the playoffs, and we just get walked. Are you happy that we went to the conference championship game?
Yeah,
Ooh, really?
yeah, because it's still going to become a on that date type of thing. Like we get walked, but it's I can't imagine that there's not so many positive things to look at. The way we built over 2 years, the culture, the direction of the team, the fact that you did what you did in year one, then you made it an SC conference championship. Even if you get wonked in the conference championship, that's not showing up in the wild card round as the 2 seed or whatever it was, and getting
With
walked
the with home field advantage?
at home with home field advantage in the first round. At least you did win two before someone completely out schemes you or showed up and y- whatever, the multitude of reasons.
Yeah,
It's not going to make me believe that we lose every game. We just that we fell
I hear you.
flat on that day in the NFC Championship game. I
That's
don't know
fair
what the
because if
difference
Schottenheimer
is in that and falling flat in the first round that we've done multiple times, but
Well, you've got a good point on the coaching staff getting us there. If Schottenheimer and this new staff and Christian Parker were able to actually get us there
it
in
would
this
feel like
short
we're going
time,
right back the next
well, a
year with
huge
another
turnaround. It would
chance
feel
to
like we're
win.
fixing to head right back. True. If it would feel like, okay, now, because at least if we did that, Jerry would definitely be in, oh my God, we were right on the brink. What do I have to spend this year? Who do we add? What do I do? It would be completely all in. It would be all over all in.
Yeah, he'd be
And
losing his mind.
y- you would know that Dak Prescott on his getting the taste of that in his mouth, right? If he gets a conference championship game and has that bitter taste, knowing he's got 3 or 4 years left, he's going to be willing to say, take some more of my money up front, do what we got to do. They all want it, and that would definitely. But I guess that was my nightmare scenario, just because if you get dog walked by Micah's team, then everybody says, we were supposed to be the ones in the Super Bowl. We should have kept Micah. That's why they went and we didn't, because Michael Parsons and Jerry's so
Over
stupid
one
and blah blah
player
blah.
that we traded 2 years before, yeah, I wouldn't entertain that
Yes,
at all. You get placed back
I
on hold
wouldn't,
on
but I'm
this
just
show
saying. Well, that's why I wouldn't want it, because that's my worst nightmare. Because not that I would feel that way, but I would have to argue with people all the time who were
for a
saying
year at least
that we
for
would
the
trade, we
for the for
traded
the
Micah. That's
following
why we
year.
didn't go. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be the subject
yeah.
matter 8 times. I got you.
Even though it would be the Micah trade and the 20th pick and the Quinnen Williams and the money to pay George and all that that would have helped us get there, people will just discount that. But
Hmm.
yeah, no, it's
Oh, and a dozen things at this point. Yeah, those were just the big ones, the headline ones.
right. That's the dichotomy of the NFL. I love it. It makes so much sense. You won the championship, you pick last. You get the least talented player in the first round, or not that that's what's going to happen, but that's kind of the system they want to build. Oh, you were worse, you get the best player in the draft.
Cowherd
I
says,
like
"Look,
it.
look, man, the NFL punishes good teams, bad draft picks. That
That's
would
right.
put you hard schedule. Yeah,
Well, they punished two people, good teams and the Dallas Cowboys. Um, even when we're not a good team, we still get punished. I feel like, and when we are a good team, we just get punished worse, worse because you know that just as well as I do. Des caught it, and
Did he catch it that day, or did he catch it based on what the rule would be changed to?
they changed it immediately and issued an apology letter to Des Bryant and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, the later that week even. That didn't help.
We feel so much better that you're sorry. It's okay. We didn't.
10 years
We'll
later,
go
we're
next
sitting here
year,
talking about it right now.
dude. It was the last best chance we had to go to the NFC Conference Championship game. You can say that the Mike McCarthy team that got dog walked by Green Bay was our last
Can
best
you
chance,
remember who we
but
would
no, it
play?
wasn't.
Can you remember who we would play if had we beaten Green Bay in that game? Or who they went on to play?
Seattle, and then who went to the Super Bowl that year was out of the NFC would have been the Rams. No,
I don't think
I'll
they're in
take
the
a look.
Super Bowl yet. And I'm
Take
saying,
a good look. Yeah,
I
it's a
just
little
said
early.
10. I said 10 years. I said it was 2016, but
There's the Des Carter year, right? All right, that was 2015
15.
January. So let's go to 2015 playoff. All right, that was going to be. Don't say that. No, this can't be right.
Oh, I'm sure the internet can be right.
I need the 2014 to 15. They gave me 2015 and 16. This is going to be right. And had we beaten that stupid Green Bay team, it would have been Seattle who went and lost to New England 28-24.
Marshawn Lynch. Don't give it to him.
Yeah, don't hand it to them. No, that's what I'm saying. And they could have, based on their run game, beaten New England that day. Do you know what our run game looked like with DeMarco Murray that year? Just saying, man.
I have the ability to pull up highlights, but I don't want to look at that right now.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah, no, that was I believe our last best chance at a chip. You guys tell us, what do you think was what do you think it was? 774-290-2200 to get you on the show. Pin is Cowboys 269-2697.
We'll just wait for people to get familiar with
It's
the show, and we'll keep running this
for
at
sure.
nights, and we'll get callers in. When you call in, looks like this, and we'll have a conversation with you about whatever topics come up, Cowboys or not.
Yeah, you bring it
Any,
up. If you don't
any,
like what we're saying, argue with it.
yeah, other topics or any other Cowboys things that are pertinent tonight before as the 9 o'clock hour approaches. Um, Big fights or anything. Sam may be here one of the next times we have this show. Um, she can let
Oh
us.
yeah, Sam's on with us tomorrow night. Actually, this was
Is
just a
she?
pilot episode. Again, Coach and I wanted to get on and get it running. Yeah, she already said she was a little busy tonight. She wanted to try to make the pilot, but she is here with us tomorrow, so you guys can call in, chat with us, chat with Sam, and it'll be the full team on tomorrow night. And then, of course, Friday night will be the Star We Are Live, where the trio does our set topics, and you're gonna try to have a guest on. I'm gonna try to get Mr. J Tuck on. He's been on vacation, having a good time, but I know he'll be back here and pretty soon doing his hustle right before the draft, and so we'd like to get him on and talk some draft. Sam also this Friday is going to do her mock draft. Coach and I did ours. You can go back and watch the last couple weeks show. We did our mock draft. I liked Coach's a little better than mine. Somebody else in comments actually agreed with me. I think Coach's draft come out. I'd have picked his over mine, but we'll see what Sam does. See how she votes in the old draft game at PFF. See if she can get a higher score. I think Coach and myself. Coach said I'm trying to get the high score in PFF and win a Super Bowl.
Will McClay's just got to get the high score on April 24th, 5th, and 6th.
Ugh. All
of this
3 days,
year of
huh?
our Lord 2006, as your guy Nix would say.
It's we actually have a pick in all days now, though, right?
That's
Because
helpful,
we just
right?
had 2 first-round picks. We weren't gonna have a day 2 pick at all. We were just gonna be sitting there just
You'd
twiddling
catch
our thumbs
if
on
you didn't do
Saturday like,
anything,
"Come
you'd catch
on."
these yeah, you catch these 2 players and then sit there on Saturday and watch everyone else you had any, like, real excitement about. There'd be some small crop that made it through Saturday that you
Mhm.
might maybe we could get one of them with our 3 first rounders and then not draft any of them.
Oh
We won't
oh,
put
and you know me, I'm already team trade down, so what I'm doing the whole second round is saying that guy's gonna be better than who we just drafted at 20. That guy be better than who we drafted at 12. That's what
see, if we hadn't drafted at
so
12 or
mad.
20, we'd have had a pick somewhere
Would have
right
had
around
both of
here.
those players. That's right. Could have had them both. I knew we should have traded with the Texans. Damn it. No, it's
Unless
fun
I'm
time. We're gonna
crazy,
watch
I
draft
haven't looked
day.
in a couple weeks, but yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. I think if I haven't looked in a few, like a couple weeks on the specific day, but I think it's the 24th, which means the 23rd is the draft day premiere again for the X year in a row since it's come out. It's like Home Alone for Christmas, man. It's a tradition.
It is. No, I watched some Moneyball recently. I can't wait to watch draft day. I want to try to watch it soon. I may watch it this evening. It
Nah, that's what
might
I'm
be
saying. You
something
got
that
to hold out for the day before. It's way more
I
fun that
know.
way. Gets you amped.
It is. It does get you amped to get into it. It just but every time I see it, I start wanting all those super trades. I want Jerry to make some
That's why you're
miraculous
like
move.
this. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're the one who's a fan of the movie. That's why you're like
This
this.
movie ruined me.
I tell
No, it
you
is.
though, I tell you though, PFF says they're okay, and we're simultaneously with evaluating PFF and them saying would this trade be accepted. We're also looking at the point value system for the draft positions and saying, all right, this we're the one offering the trade, we're the one who wants it. Not only is it even points, but they're winning by 100 or 150 points. Some
Right.
some fourth round pick extra going their way. I mean, we're doing everything in our GM
Yeah.
minds, if we were GMs, it seems reasonable. But then
Yeah.
you go and do these things sometimes, especially when you package them back to back to back, when you move 12 and 20 and trade George and, and then come up and then package those things to come back up in the same draft and do the whole Moneyball draft day combination thing, balls to the wall. We end up with like 7 top 100 picks by doing nothing but coming off 12 and 20 and moving George and maybe Terrence Steele.
That's it.
And we end up with
That's
a,
it.
a first round receiver to replace George and a, and
You
a,
want
and
to
a
do one
tackle that
last one to get
and
up
a
out of
tackle
here?
that is better than Terrence Steele and 6 defensive players in the top 100 instead of 2 or 3. So it's tough to understand why teams aren't taking the Moneyball approach
I
and
know.
trying to buy statistics instead and
Right. What
wins
is the
instead
what
of
is the saying in
players.
that movie, Coach?
Oh,
You're
that
not
baseball thinking is medieval. Players are trying to buy
well,
like a
but you're
person,
not trying
not trying to buy
right. You're not
wins.
trying to buy players. You're trying to buy runs, or what does it say? You're
You're
trying to
trying
buy
to buy
runs.
wins, and in order to buy wins, you have to buy runs.
You have to buy runs. Right. So for me, you're not. Well, it's I know different. Football is a different sport, but you're not trying to buy.
You're trying to buy point differential.
Yeah, you're really trying to buy a plus
If
minus
the whatever
overall.
however bigger the bigger difference your plus minus is and your point differential is, say on average, is going to be the higher percentage you win any given game that you play.
Oh boy, that's got my head turning. Do you remember the system we sat down and wrote down that put Seattle as the Super Bowl winners?
Oh, 100%.
We did that. Coach and I did that, and we actually know that system, and we're going to try to put it together throughout
May have
this
had New
season. We're
England.
working on something.
Man, that was good.
And
Yeah.
no, we had Seattle versus New England in the Super Bowl. Weeks ahead of
Yeah,
time.
well,
We were just looking
this
at
year
like a
we're going to
point
need to use
system
our
and
system
rankings, and
and put some money behind it. Then
yeah, no, we did. But I think that worked. And as we're sitting here talking about this, I really think there is a system to having a plus minus on the field. It doesn't take the Jalen Ramseys and the Aaron Donalds. It takes 3 PJ Locks. And we're gonna do some. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a good season. So let's go straight to the trades. What do we talk about? We're gonna trade George. Now we have to speculate that. You don't have to have him to have a top 10 offense, and you don't need a top 10 offense to win. the Super Bowl or even get there. But history almost tells you that you absolutely do have to have a top 10 defense to even consider sniffing a conference championship game.
For those who haven't been here
So,
before, PFF doesn't update for months at a time, and Trayshawn Holden is a placeholder for George Pickens. So we will have to
uh,
force this trade no matter what it reasonably looks like.
right.
Go ahead. There's
Now,
a yeah,
Tennessee wants him for Cam Ward,
and they
or Miami
reasonably
wants
do.
him,
They really do reasonably
or
want him.
New England. So you can pick one of those teams, but I really do think Tennessee does want him.
I'm going with Tennessee because they've got the higher picks in every round. So
Okay, so are they just going to give you? They pick in the fourth round.
you can do what you want with
They going to
them.
give you?
You mean they pick
Are they
at
going to
4
give you
overall?
those 2 seconds? Or are they going to give you that second and third? We watched Jalen Waddle get a first and a third. That's not too much to ask. It's a higher third, but it's a second, not a first.
It's pick 4 in the second, and it's pick 4 in the third. That's what this is.
Is George Pickens worth the second and third?
Yeah, they're going to give you
Jalen
that.
Waddle was worth the
Yes,
first and the third.
we just paid a third for him. He doubled that production. Yes, he's worth a second and a third. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So it's simple enough.
Pickens. You have to force it. Yep.
Yeah, I got it. Oh,
Yeah,
force trade. Force trade. Yeah, they're going to decline.
Yeah, Trayshawn Holden. No, don't start it yet. Trade again.
Okay,
no,
trade again. Trade again.
Mm-hmm.
But just like I was saying, I put it in your head. You're like, no, I want to.
Right. Yeah, I want to speculate it. How many bodies can we end up with? We're going to give away 12.
To who?
Go to Miami. They're going to give us
30
and 70 something.
5. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They are.
Off for
not force, but hang on, take off force trade, offer trade.
Yeah, they'll do
just
that.
to show that's legitimate.
20, trade again.
Trade again.
No draft yet.
20.
No drafty. Now we're going to go to Texas.
The Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to give us 38 and 60 something for 20.
They will, instead of 28 and 106, they'll give you 38 and 69. You need to 18 spots later in the first, semi in the second. You need to give them something back. You might need to give them 92.
152. No.
Okay,
I'm not sure. Are we looking at this right? Because it's moving up 18 spots from coming from the second round.
From the second round to the almost the later, to very near.
Just imagine that it look. Just imagine it.
If your player's sitting there, you're doing
12 spots.
If they're the ones contacting you, they're doing it. But
if you're pick 32 in the first round and you want to move up 12 spots to 20, does it not cost you a third round pick?
Yeah. Okay.
Then what are we talking about?
And again, PFF likes it plenty.
Right, it's 100%.
So that's what I just said. You have traded George, traded 12, traded 20. You're starting the draft.
Boom.
You're not picking until 30, but you have 30, 35, 38. You have 3 picks in the next 10.
George's replacement.
Take them in the right order because some of them might fall to your next pick. You have 30, 35, and 38.
I want George's replacement right now to keep my offense where it was. Caleb Lemieux takes care of Terrence Steele. I know we ain't picked a defensive player yet, but watch how this unfolds.
You got time. 38, 66, 69, 75, 92. Like I said, you end up with 7 top 100 picks when you do this.
Right, and still 5 of them on the defensive side of the ball.
And still Terrence Hill to be traded when you're really, like I said, when you're really draft daying it.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you can trade Terrence Hill at this point. You've already replaced him.
Value.
I like me some Chris Johnson or Brandon Sissy. I would go Chris Johnson here.
Just over that player. That you got 2 corners rated above.
When do we pick again?
66.
When do we pick again after this one?
66.
No, give me Jacob Rodriguez here.
And there are 2 corners above him.
Find me Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, he should be right in here. He's going to be off the board already, brother.
No.
Well, he ain't past 77 anymore, is he? I mean, I'll go sort it by linebackers, but he ain't there no more. He's not down in that area.
Oh, they just went.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then get back to the big board. All right. Yeah, I'm all about some Chris Johnson or
You're
some
just
Mason Thomas. You could pick for me, but that's
no, you
fine.
got it. You got it. You know, you're choosing between three corners right there. It's fine if that's the one you value. You got the picks. You made the
Uh,
trades.
who's the linebackers left here? Is Golday still there? Or did he go?
And Hill is
Kyle
still there.
Lewis.
That's what's going
After
on.
66, we pick at
It don't matter. You picked him at 20 a minute ago. You have to
yeah.
take him
No,
at
take him.
66. Forget
Yeah,
69 or
yeah. I know.
75.
Take him.
Forget that.
Do it.
We're not
He
playing that
said,
game
"Forget that."
because he'd have been going at 64 is what or whatever was
Well,
about
then
to
now give me
happen.
the edge and Derek Moore.
Okay. Picks falling out. Just leaking picks.
Give me a little scroll here.
Sorry. Look at that
I
name
love me
falling
some
down the
Chandler
board.
Rivers.
That was a second round
Give me
safety. Yep.
give me some Chandler Rivers. Yeah, Genesis Smith.
DB. Love that.
Let's show me my picks thus far. Oh, love that.
Mm-hmm.
Show me. Give me Anthony Lucas. I'll take him. J.C. Davis.
The board's not even moving because you got so many picks within 5 and 10 picks. It just comes back up. You don't even see the players go. Look at all the players and the
I'll
same
take.
players are available 3 times in a row.
Show me the linebackers. Yeah, I'll take Owen Heineke there. I'm down with that. And then we'll take some. Sure. Yeah. Canada.
Keep on dipping until it works. That's how you know, I don't mind that
If
idea.
you don't think minus George Pickens, that football team.
Right, because forget about the fact that you had 12 and 20. You picked 2 players. You got rid of George Pickens, and this is what you got out of the draft by also moving 12 and 20. But so be it. Oh boy, it's a lot of talent.
And some Chandler Rivers, Anthony Hill Jr., and Chris Johnson, just in case Deron Bland or Savone Reveille don't want to play right.
And you went offense with your top 2 picks. After trading 12 and 20, you went offense with your top 2 picks.
Right. You replaced George
Still
Pickens'
added
production,
6,
not fully,
credible.
but and you made your right tackle better. You upgraded your offensive line, replaced the weapon, and then still stacked everything you wanted to your defense: a DB, an edge, a linebacker, a safety, another edge, and a DB. No, I don't understand what's wrong with that. Like you said, Moneyball approach. What can we add? I don't need to replace Micah Parsons like they did with Giambi, right, in the movie. I need
Right.
3 guys. What was
Yeah,
Giambi worth? 1,000? Then I need 333 3 times.
right. We can't. I told you we can't replace Micah, and we can't do it. What we might be able to do is recreate him in the aggregate.
Recreate him in the aggregate. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Right.
What can Micah Parsons turn into? What can pick 20 turn into?
In the
And
end,
then losing Micah Parsons
right?
helps you only get
Because you
7
keep spinning
wins.
it, right? Micah Parsons already turned into the trade it turned into, but you can
Right.
continue to spin that trade one more
You
time
can make
right
it
before
more
we go.
valuable.
Last minutes of this show here, Jimmy Johnson said, "I just seen it recently. Didn't know it when I was younger. We made 54, 57 trades in my first 2 years or whatever as head coach before we won the from the time he got there until we won the Super Bowl. 2 or 3 years,
Y'all
57 trades.
listening?
It was the most in the NFL by any team, I think, by far. I think
Are y'all listening?
it may have surpassed all other NFL teams single handedly combined. Yeah, and that worked.
Please tell me y'all are listening.
Mm.
Jimmy Johnson, the guy, Jimmy Johnson said, I traded more players and picks and just started moving things around to get what I wanted. in the first 2 years as my head coach, his head coach in Dallas than any other NFL team, probably a bunch of them combined. The first year, he said it was like 40 something, right? That was more
Right.
than the NFL combined, I think.
It may have
In
been
the
a
first,
fact. Like
so
I may be misquoting that part, but it may have been combined. We made more trades than
combined,
all the other NFL
because
teams during that
now,
span.
granted, the Herschel Walker is a part of that, right? That got a lot of
That's what
picks.
started it. That's what gave you so many picks to continue to deal those picks, so and recycle things and so forth.
So in today's market, Micah Parsons can't turn into 6 picks, right? Because it just ain't like that. But if all of a sudden he's worth 2 first round picks, if one of those first round picks turns into a player or two, because Micah Parsons already turned into Kenny Williams or Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark. Now, if his number 20 turns into 2 other players, now Micah Parsons has turned into 4 people.
12 turns into 2 more.
And then because you didn't have Micah Parsons, you only won 7 games. So now you have the 12th pick in the draft, turn it into 2 more people. Now Micah Parsons is 8 people. You know? Come on, guys. Come on, Cowboys Nation. Wake up, Jerry. If we just stick at 12, we say Keldrick Falk at 12 and TJ Parker or some defensive interior lineman at 20. We're I'm a you know what I'm gonna be feeling like. I can't say Keldrick Falk at 12 and Diego Pons at 20 and be like, all right. Okay.
All right.
So 4th and late at the 8. As the lights go off,
It's the 9 now.
and it is the 9 now. We are at the 9. We started at the 8, and we have progressed all the way to the 9, but it was 4th down, and therefore, as of now, it's a turnover on downs. So we will turn the evening over to you guys. And before we get out of here, we just want to remind you to smash that like, smash that subscribe, follow us on all the socials you can find out there. The Star, we are you? And if you are, then just remember to fan responsibly, guys. Have a good night.